Hi there, Terry Hashimoto here with NRG Sport Metrics and NRG Sports. There's two different companies. One understands the data, one sells you products. Today I'm with John McIsaac, the owner and founder, and Dr. Sachel McKenzie at St.FX Xavier University, head of biomechanics, human kinetics, all good things like related to motion and sports. You've seen a couple of our videos. In the last couple of years we've been developing the BodyTrack golf system. We call it the shift system, but golf system is good enough. 5 years ago, I began a quest to try to develop an inertial measuring unit. It set me down the path of trying to complete golf metrics so that we could combine the understanding of pressure, path, and understanding grip pressure and actual pressure of your feet during your swing. It's taken us a long time to get to where we are today. It's never easy. This little device is so simple and yet so complicated, and yet it works so brilliantly, and all you have to do is put it on a golf club. This one's called Swing Bite. So today we're with John and Sachel because I want to ask them a couple questions. And Sachel, and I'm going to ask John to help me out here. This is an AMTI force plate in front of us. And Sachel, what do you use that force plate for currently?
The force plate is used for pretty much any motion analysis you want to investigate. The ground is the contact point for pretty much all athletic movements, and knowing the forces that the ground is applying to the athlete is essential in understanding how they move.
There's a ton of questions, and John, you and I were talking about this morning. You pulled up a file that Flight School had with regards to ground forces.
Yes.
And John, as a golfer, as a golfer that wants to improve your own game, what do you see and how do you see the matter helping just the layman golfer?
Well, quite simply, when you stand on it and make a swing, you can see if your motion is moving from back to front. I had a young fellow on it trying it out. He was a pretty smart guy, and I always wondered about a swing. He took 2 swings on it and said, my motion's moving backwards.
Yeah.
And he corrected it by himself in 2 swings.
That's a perfect example because it gives you immediate feedback. Sachel, I mean, you deal with Chris Como, you deal with every major golf instructor in the world today, and you know you're right on the leading edge of people talking about ground forces. Golf is getting very, very complicated, and I personally am wondering what your thoughts are as to how these ground forces are going to be understood and potentially misunderstood by potential instructors.
Well, I have a lot of ideas about how using data collected from the ground, interacting with the golfer, can be used for instruction. I think it's an important new area for golf instructors, but hesitant to say too much just now until some studies are completed, until I can take a look a little more closely at the data. In particular, AMTI force plate gives you a lot more information than BodyTrack shift system, but it's much more expensive. It's not portable, and there are a few things that a single force plate can't do that the BodyTrack shift system can. It can't differentiate between the 2 feet like the shift system can. So I think really there's some really potentially important information that can be taken from just the vertical forces that are measured by the BodyTrack shift system and assimilated and processed in a way and presented in a few simple numbers that can really help with golf instruction. But the finer details of that have yet to be worked out through some study.
Thank you. Today we're here, actually in a little while we're going to be meeting with the University of St.FX Xavier. We're going to be announcing that John has set up a research project that Sachel is going to be developing the correlation between path and pressure. And I'm very excited about this myself personally because to me there's the 2 major things I want to know as a golfer are what's my pressure during all aspects of my swing. And Sachel, how will this research study take place? What will you be looking at first?
Well, basically, we're going to collect all the data on a range of different golfers hitting a range of shots and statistically try to process the results and see if we can tease out exactly what characteristics of a center pressure trace correlate to certain types of swings. And, maybe there's different categories of swings where you see certain features having certain relationships. Maybe it's not the same for every golfer, but if we can say, okay, here's a golfer category A swing, then we know what to look at in their center of pressure trace to aid in a certain club head path. So if someone's trying to hit a draw, maybe for that particular golfer, it's easier for them to ingrain that swing if they're able to correct what they're doing with their feet interacting with the ground.
That's
It's just another tool for the instructor.
Now, I noticed on your club there, you've got those little tags for the 3D. How are we going to use that for the?
Well, basically, if you can see the red cameras that are lit up around the room, it's a Raptor system for Motion Analysis Corporation. It collects that at 500 frames per second, and so simultaneously, while collecting data with the body track shift and the swing bite, this system will serve as kind of a validation along with the force plate, which we placed underneath the body track shift system,
Very cool.
or higher end equipment to make sure that the data coming out is actually correct.
And John, you must be very proud to have been able to put this together in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. Congratulations. I mean, that's a real feat for you, I'm sure.
Well, thank you. Yes, just by happen chance I've known Sasho and look forward to this opportunity to working together to validate the theories that we have.
Congratulations, John. Nice to talk to you, Sasha, and Terry Hashimoto with two fine gentlemen, Dr. Sasha McKenzie and John McIsaac, St. Francis Xavier University. Thank you.